CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with the Federal Liberal Party's annual convention getting underway just a day after Sarnia MP Marilyn Gladu crossed the floor from the Conservatives. She defended her decision tonight when asked about her change of heart from longtime Liberal critic. Abigail Beeman reports.
Marilyn Gladu front and center at the Liberal convention. She claims crossing the floor is what her constituents want. And as for her socially conservative views, she says there's no issue either.
I oppose conversion therapy. I always did. I obviously have my long faith traditions, but I'm ready to support the rights of women in this country.
But when you ran
Next question.
This couldn't be more different than a decade ago.
The Liberals are in for 4 long years.
Such a dyed-in-the-wool conservative, she dressed up as death.
Death is not ready for you.
To pump up election-defeated colleagues.
Shake off the gloom and doom.
A few years later,
I'm running to be the federal leader of the Conservative Party and the next Prime Minister of Canada.
Today's Liberal Prime Minister was left explaining how the newly bigger tent Liberal Party absorbs Gladu, a social conservative who fought a bill banning conversion therapy for being too broad and said she'd allow MPs to advance bills restricting abortion.
She will vote with the government if there are votes relating to any aspect of that issue.
100% I agree with what the Prime Minister said. I will vote with the government. I will protect the rights and freedoms of women to choose, for people to be who they are and love who they love.
Mark Carney is saying to Canadians, your vote does not count.
In BC, the Conservative leader spoke in favor of by-elections after floor crossings and deflected a question about what losing 4 MPs means for his leadership.
87% of grassroots Conservatives who backed up my leadership less than 90 days ago to fight for an affordable, safe, and strong Canada. Our mandate and my leadership does not come from dirty backroom deals.
Asked about the possibility of even more floor crossers, which has political circles buzzing, the Prime Minister didn't rule it out, but said in this process he's nearly the last to know. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
If all goes to plan, by this time tomorrow, local astronaut Jeremy Hansen and his Artemis II crewmates will be back on Earth. They're now making final preparations for their splashdown tomorrow night.
We simulate the first day of the mission a lot and the last day of the mission a lot.
All of it depends on the final minutes of flight, and tomorrow the crew is going to put their lives behind that confidence.
The Orion spacecraft will enter the Earth's atmosphere at about 40,000 kilometers an hour. The crew are scheduled to land in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego just after 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. With more on the re-entry process, here's Kamil Karamali.
The first thing that'll happen before the Orion spacecraft hits Earth's atmosphere is losing what's called the service module. Gone are the solar panels, engines, and water and air tanks, leaving just the capsule with the crew inside as it hurtles towards Earth at more than 40,000 kilometers an hour. Air compresses in front of the capsule, creating a plasma fireball. This is the most dangerous part of the entire mission, with temperatures reaching 2,700 degrees Celsius. The spacecraft protected by a heat shield, and the crew inside experiencing controlled temperatures. But the process will make them feel 4 times heavier than they do on Earth. Then, to slow itself down, Orion will deploy 11 parachutes in a carefully planned out order. These chutes slow down the capsule to just over 30 kilometers per hour as it splashes down in the Pacific Ocean just off the coast of California, where a recovery team will greet them. The whole journey from entering the Earth's atmosphere to splashdown expected to take just over 15 minutes. Kamil Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
White Oaks Mall has filled a substantial vacancy, welcoming back IKEA to the Forest City. It's a new concept store, first of its kind in Canada. And with more, here's Nick Paparella.
It's a sign that is recognized around the world. The Swedish retail giant IKEA will soon be opening its doors in London, occupying part of the space that once housed the Hudson's Bay Company at White Oaks Mall. Sarah Imrie is with the mall.
We are absolutely thrilled to be able to let the cat out of the bag and talk about the exciting reimagining of the former Hudson's Bay space that we've been working on for so long.
This is the second time IKEA has set up in London. However, in June of 2020, the company decided to close its pickup depot on Wonderland Road South. Sarah says this store will provide more than the last site, but less than a traditional full-size IKEA location, with over 2,000 home essentials that will be available for cash and carry.
It's a new type of small store designed for everyday convenience. So they say small store, but it's like 45,000 square feet that's going to take up the ground floor of our 165,000 square feet of space that we have in the mall to repurpose.
Renovations are already underway, with the IKEA store set to open its doors in the fall.
They are a wonderful partner that we're really excited to work with, and I hope the community is as excited as we are.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
City Hall's coordinated informed response to homelessness is expanding. A new downtown response team has been created, and with more on its mandate, here's Daryl Newcomb.
We have evolved to suit the needs of the city.
Manager of Coordinated Informed Response, Debbie Kramers, was a frontline worker in 2018 when the program was a pilot project compassionately addressing homelessness on the streets of London. Now City Hall is unveiling a dedicated downtown CIR response team, in addition to the existing service, to engage with homeless Londoners, business owners, promote a trespass agreement program, as well as offer storefront safety and security audits.
It is proactive engagement, and that means with community, business owners, anyone and everyone who is in the downtown area.
And while they're called downtown CIR, they've actually just been deployed on Dundas Street between the river and Quebec Street in the Old East Village, primarily because that's where there's a great density of businesses being impacted by the homelessness crisis.
They have come in, they were very articulate, they were very compassionate in the way that they talked about what they were planning to do.
But Bancroft Snell worries the police-style vests, shoulder badges, and vehicle might impact how homeless Londoners respond.
At first, I actually thought that it was police coming in. I don't know that the outfit that they're wearing, to me, if I was a homeless person, that's not going to make me feel secure.
The city emphasizes that the downtown response team begins engagements with conversation, then they can request an outreach worker, and only if all else fails, contact police.
It isn't drug enforcement or substance use enforcement. It isn't anything that would fall under the police purview of criminal activity. It is to support the city, support the bylaws, enforce the bylaws.
The city says the team knows where and when resources are available for unsheltered Londoners, so they're directed to services and supports, not just moved along.
We have a really great team. They are compassionate. They do have relationships with everyone out on the street. They're out here every day.
The new response team is one of the quick start actions in London's downtown master plan. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A groundbreaking today for a housing project in St. Thomas, breathing new life into an old building. Local officials call it a significant step in reducing homelessness in the city. With more on the expected impact, here's Brian Bicknell.
You know what the cure to lack of housing is? Housing.
St. Thomas Mayor Joe Preston was on hand as Indwell broke ground on its latest project.
Hooray! Yeah.
The Christian Housing Charity is creating 78 supportive housing units at the former Balaclava Street Public School heritage property. The newly named Balaclava Crossing will have 36 units with enhanced supports inside the renovated Heritage School building, while the new expansion at the back will have 42 units with standard supports.
That includes healthcare supports, nursing supports, housing supports, and addiction supports if that's necessary, and to make sure that people have those wraparound healthcare supports to be successful in a brighter future.
I have heard about your visioning of lofty goals, your coordination of unlikely partners, the high regard that you hold for all members of your community, your ambitious drive to solve homelessness.
Preston says the project ties in with the city's goal of achieving net zero homelessness.
We see an end sometime early in 2027 where we will be able to say we've hit net zero. Does that mean no? It does not mean we're done. It means we have to continue to look at homelessness prevention and making sure no one else is falling back into that.
The $31 million project is being funded by all 3 levels of government and community fundraising. It's set to open next year. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Meanwhile, a new supportive housing project in London held its grand opening today. With more on the impact for homelessness in this city, here's Lauren Stallone.
50 Londoners will now have a new place to call home.
I can't tell you how excited we are to see these 50 highly supportive housing units added to the supply that we have here in London.
Hundreds gathered at 46 Elmwood Place, once a long-term care home, now called Cove's Landing.
By working with the local coordinated access system, hubs and hospital partners, we alleviate those system pressures and we reestablish that system flow. People who have benefited from those services can now continue their journey here.
Government officials say this project will help address the homelessness crisis in London.
We know that there is a dire shortage of supportive housing, highly supportive housing across the province and right here in this community.
Homelessness is the most complex, most challenging issue that we have to deal with as a city.
Mayor Josh Morgan was also in attendance, saying Cove's Landing will help deliver stability and support for individuals in need.
We believe we can make steps towards solutions, and although there are many steps to go, there are a few communities in this country that are taking the steps that this city has in multiple different ways.
The project was funded through a contribution from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, a grant from the Health and Homelessness Fund for Change, and a contribution from the City of London.
It really takes these funding sources to make positive change, and we appreciate that true public-private partnership. And we would love to see more of this, because that's when you really see how quickly things can actually move and getting people indoors.
The facility will offer 24-hour on-site presence as well as access to professional health support services. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Provincial police say 2 more people have died following a crash last week near Norwich. The crash happened on March 31st between an SUV and transport truck on Highway 59. A Cambridge resident and 2 teenagers were pronounced dead at the scene. Today, OPP say a 21-year-old and a 46-year-old, both from Tillsonburg, have since died from their injuries. They also say no charges will be laid. The provincial government has announced an inquest into the death of a man who died while being transferred from the Elgin Middlesex Detention Centre. Drew Pearson was charged with arson back in December 2018, connected to a house fire on St. Andrew Street. Provincial law mandates an inquest when someone dies while in police custody. According to a media release, details on when and where the inquest will take place will be provided at a later date. We're continuing our new series, Speaking with London's Leaders, getting their perspective on the biggest issues affecting our community. Today, we premiered our latest episode with the Medical Officer of Health for the Middlesex London Health Unit, Dr. Alex Summers. Here's an excerpt from that conversation. Medical misinformation is, it's always been a concern for people in the healthcare profession, but it's certainly been supercharged in the age of social media. The pandemic amplified it, certainly. We're starting to see the impact of artificial intelligence. So what is the health unit doing to ensure people in our region have access to accurate healthcare information?
Addressing misinformation and disinformation is a singular priority for public health agencies everywhere, and certainly for us in our region. It is anchored on being a source of trusted information. And so the number one thing that we need to do is continue to build trust, and not just through the ways in which we've often built trust, through coming and speaking on the news or through media releases, but through our day in, day out work with all the populations and all the communities and neighborhoods within our region. It's through that local, personal relationship building that we can build trust, which means that we're able to then communicate messages of science and fact to try and address mis and disinformation. The world as we know it is now full of information. For the longest time in human history, it was more of a challenge to find the information you need Now it's around trying to make sense of all the information that is out there. And what the health unit aims to be is that source of truth, a source of trust that is able to try and find some clarity through the noise of all the information that is out there. And that comes through building trust, through really ensuring that people understand that we're there for them. That is our singular purpose. And my hope is that through that trust that we're able to help address that scourge of misinformation that we're experiencing.
And if you want to watch the full version of my interview with Dr. Alex Summers, you can head to our website, ctvnewslondon.ca, and click on Leading London. Officials at LHSC say they delivered a record number of babies last year.
Every birth has a story, and in another record-breaking year in 2025, we were honored to be part of 6,636 of them.
That's hospital staff reporting more than 6,600 deliveries in 2025, breaking a record for the second year in a row. They also say that averages out to about 18 babies born per day. When we come back, the NATO alliance and a tentative ceasefire, the latest on the Middle East as the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. Welcome back. Israeli officials say they're moving toward direct talks with Lebanese counterparts over disarming Hezbollah and establishing peace. As Joy Malvin reports, regional tensions are rising and the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran remains fragile.
Israel blew up bridges in Lebanon in its battle against Iranian-backed Hezbollah militants. Yesterday's bombings in Beirut, one of the deadliest, says the health ministry, killing hundreds and wounding more. Angering Iran, who insists that attacking Lebanon is off limits and part of the ceasefire.
No ceasefire ever goes without a little bit of choppiness. What we have been very clear about is that we want to stop the bombing. We want our allies to stop the bombing, and we want the Iranians to do the same thing.
The Trump administration asked Israel to scale back. Today, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu authorizing direct talks with Lebanon aimed at disarming Hezbollah and bolstering a shaky truce with Iran that still has a grip on the Strait of Hormuz. Video shows very little traffic moving through the critical oil and shipping route, opening it a key demand from President Donald Trump, who issued a new warning saying the U.S. military will remain in Iran until such time as the real agreement reached is fully complied with. If not, then the shooting starts bigger and better and stronger. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte says the alliance is working with Washington to keep the strait open. President Trump has repeatedly threatened to withdraw from NATO over a lack of support for his war in Iran.
Some allies were a bit slow, to say the least. But what I see when I look across Europe today is allies providing a massive amount of support, basing, logistics and other measures to ensure the powerful U.S. military succeeds in denying Iran a nuclear weapon.
And those high-stakes peace talks set to take place this weekend in Pakistan. The president telling reporters that he's optimistic, adding that if Iran doesn't make a deal, it will be very painful. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Welcome back on the desk with Julie now, and it feels like the story, at least the weather story of the week, has been these wild fluctuations in temperature. Still a little bit more of that going on until we get to the weekend.
Yeah, spring's tricky like that. You know, you just think you're out of it, and then things, yeah, we get dropped below the freezing mark. Temperatures tonight staying above freezing across most of the region, with the exception areas towards the Bruce Peninsula could see some light freezing rain overnight. So that's something to keep in mind. But south of that, temperatures nice. Today we made it to 19 degrees. We did have a cold front come through, so our winds have now shifted to the northeast. They'll be light overnight, though. Normally this time of year around 10 degrees, so upper teens is nice. Satellite radar shows this cold front so nicely. So this is pre-front, the rain that moved through early in the day, so more of a passing shower. There was a few bubbles up in this system where we saw a few heavier pockets of rain, but other than that, that front coming through didn't bring a rainy day, but just periods of rain rain through the afternoon. Then we broke into that sunshine, which pushed temperatures up as we moved past the late afternoon. Now, what's going to happen tonight is this front will stall out south of us, and then this little wave of low pressure will be driving along that front. As that wave rides in, we have another round of rain coming in tomorrow morning. So you can see the rain associated with it. So overnight, the probability will go from about a 40% chance by sunrise, or even 3 to 4 a.m., 80%. And you can see the pink, that's indicating that freezing precipitation. North of that, northern Ontario, snowfall. We are on the mild side of it, most of the area, and you can see it'll be green for us, which is, yes, rainfall and milder temperatures. So rain's expected tomorrow morning. That rain will last till about noon hour, and then heading into the afternoon, just mainly cloudy. Probability drops down to about a 30% chance as we head into the early evening, and falling from there on Friday night. Saturday is going to be a beautiful day. Lots of sunshine, a big area of high pressure builds in. It will be a bit cool on Saturday, but temperatures right where we should be for this time of year. By Sunday, we're into the mid to upper teens, although with the warm air comes a slight chance for some showers. So overnight, we'll drop down to 0 to +1 in Wyerton. So north of that, where you saw that mixed precipitation, that's what we're keeping an eye on in terms of some messy conditions. South, temperatures will be above freezing, anywhere from 2 to about 5 degrees. Your forecast for your Friday, that light wind out of the northeast in the morning with rainfall. By the afternoon, cloudy with sunny breaks as the rain comes to an end, the high 10. Sunshine Saturday and 11, 18 on Sunday, mainly cloudy, and then showers Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Daytime highs early next week from 18 to 20 degrees. So yes, we're going to shift things. We're not going to see these major swings, at least for a little bit. We will see things stabilize early next week. We do have some spring rain showers in the forecast, but always nice this time of year when we get into some rain. It really helps things to get growing, and with the warmth, we'll start to see things sprouting up all over the place. So showers and a bit of mixed precipitation tomorrow morning. Areas to the north here on Perth, you'll have some rainfall ending in the afternoon, but lots of sunshine in your forecast on Saturday. Daytime highs climbing as we head into Sunday, although you do have a bit of shower action towards Grey Bruce on Sunday afternoon. That's a wrap tonight, Carlyle. I'll send things back to you.
Thanks, Julie. A spring tradition is back in Belmore. As Scott Miller reports, the annual Maple Syrup Festival has been bringing crowds to the tiny village for decades.
The Belmore Arena is packed, which means only one thing. It's time for the 56th edition of the Belmore Maple Syrup Festival.
I think for a lot of people, it's like old home week. They see people they went to high school with or played ball with or lived next door to 50 years ago.
For the past 56 years, pancake lovers from across Ontario have converged on the tiny village of Belmore for a heaping plate of pancakes and syrup, but also small town charm.
I just enjoy meeting all the people and seeing different, some of them you just see once a year, when they come here. So, no, I just enjoy doing it.
Over today and Saturday, 150 gallons of maple syrup will be poured, 200 dozen eggs will be cracked, 600 kilograms of flour will be sifted, and 4,000 pounds of sausage will be consumed.
We usually have around between 5,000 and 6,000 people, so 2 or 3 pancakes each, it mounts up over 20,000.
300 volunteers make the two-day event go.
This morning I was in the kitchen cracking eggs for the pancakes, and I think it's important for everyone to volunteer because it takes a lot to put on this event, so we need a whole bunch of people to help out.
While most folks come from within an hour or two drive, Chris and Allison Williams came all the way from England.
Brilliant, yeah, very well organised, great food. So marvellous, yeah.
We might have to take some maple syrup back with us.
The pancakes and syrup keep flowing on Saturday in Belmore. All proceeds go towards keeping the Belmore Arena running. In Belmore, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Pure Country 93. London's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's Big 50K Payday.
And finally tonight, a moment 25 years in the making for students at an Alberta elementary school. They sealed up a time capsule at the turn of the century, and as Amanda Anderson reports, today they opened it up.
We're at Good Shepherd School.
This assembly at Good Shepherd Catholic Elementary is more than 2 decades in the making.
Thought this would be really neat to plan for the future, to put some everyday things into a box, stick it on a shelf here and wait 25 years. And I'm so glad it came to fruition. Nobody threw it out.
The contents of a time capsule from the year 2000 revealed for students present and past.
I was 8 years old and I just wrote everything about me at the time, which was hilarious. And then I wrote everything that I thought I would be like in 25 years.
In the future, I predict that there will be cars without making one bit of pollution.
There was also a VHS tape of student interviews.
I would really like to be a doctor when I grow up.
This student may look familiar.
25 years from now, what would you like to be doing as a job?
Playing as a hockey player in the NHL.
A dream the grade 5 student achieved.
Pinching myself a little bit at this time because, you know, my whole life I was looking forward, and now it's nice to kind of take a look back at everything.
Retired NHL player, former Edmonton Oiler Tyler Ennis returned to his old school to surprise students at the assembly.
It was really cool just getting to see him and seeing what he was like when he was younger than my age.
I grew up across the field. I walked to school every day. I was a kid just like them around this neighborhood, and if you dream about something and you put in a lot of effort and work and time, that, you know, great things can happen.
What your favorite song would be?
Steal My Sunshine.
I don't mind that song actually, but my taste in music has changed a bit as I got older, but it wasn't the worst choice.
A day celebrating the past that left this student inspired for the future, with hopes of becoming the second student from Good Shepherd to play in the NHL. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.